Hi Luke, so we're here today to talk about how you've gone from having nothing to do with the acting industry, you were more in the sport industry than anything, to how you've now become represented by a really good London agent who supports your career 150% and you only do paid work, which is obviously fantastic. But before we go into that, what have been the biggest frustrations for you as an actor?
The biggest frustrations as an actor that I've encountered so far has been going to an audition, not being considered for a role due to the fact that you've got no profile or that nobody knows you, and leaving that audition thinking, well, I don't know what they're gonna think. Having no feedback at all of the person that's auditioned you, thinking that you're not going to get it because, like I've just said, you haven't got a profile compared to somebody else that might be going for the job. And overanalyzing things has been a really big frustration of mine, and put myself up for projects that I know that I'm not going to be considered for because I haven't been in the latest Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings, and there's people that might be auditioning for them projects that have, and therefore that means they're automatically going to be considered for the job even though they might not be as good as me, but because they know so and so. That's a big frustrating point because there's thousands of actors out there who are like myself who do deserve a chance, but sometimes don't get considered due to the fact that they don't know no one compared to them people.
Yeah, I think that's a frustration of a lot of actors out there as well. It's about how do you get that profile when you've not got a profile in the first place, because as we know, it is about making money because it is a business at the end of the day, show business. So let's just go back to the beginning then. So you originally weren't in the acting industry. What did you do before acting?
I studied sports and fitness as a student at Barnsley College, and I did that for 3 years. I left at 18, and then my thoughts at the time were to go to university to carry on studying it and then to maybe make it into a profession. But I didn't. I just fell out of love with it totally, and I weren't interested in it at all. There were no spark or nothing to say that I wanted to do it again. And I just went into a couple of jobs that I didn't enjoy either. I didn't enjoy who I was working with. I didn't enjoy the life that it brought. It was stressful, and I wanted to just have a change. And acting was something that I always thought about, but never really considered to do until I had that chance to do it. And so I found Standby Method Acting Studio and found Louise's classes and caught the bug, and I thought, yeah, this is it. This is what I want to do for the rest of my career.
And you've been training with us for 5 years.
Yeah.
And I mean, you've missed probably 3 or is it 4 classes in 5 years, which shows the commitment you've got to making your career and craft what you want.
Yeah.
But what the difference I've noticed in you compared to other actors, and I say that from being an actress and also training people in the method, is that your mindset is completely different. You don't take no for an answer. And I remember when you first started trying to get on Spotlight and get paid work, you got laughed at by quite a lot of people, which could have made you quit, but you didn't. And I remember you got a lot of doors slammed in your face and a lot of people thinking you were a bit of a joke for wanting to do this. So what's different about your mindset, would you say?
Well, at the time I wanted to prove people wrong. Them people that did doubt me and did have things to say that weren't very nice and, didn't really back me at all or support me. I wanted to prove them wrong, and that really made my determination even more strong that I'm going to do this for my own gain as well, but I'm going to prove you wrong for the right reasons, that I'm good enough. And I was going for a lot of projects and castings that weren't suitable to myself. I was working on a lot of non-paid projects with people that weren't really as professional as I would have liked it to have been. And I realised that that's because it were non-paid. And so I had to change my mindset that I were good enough to do paid projects all the time, and putting that back in yourself and being your number one fan in a way that you've got to believe in yourself because no one else will. And that's what mindset I did have, and I still have today, that you've got to believe in yourself because no one else will in your career. It's alright, you're thinking, oh well, they will believe in me, but you've got to sell yourself 110% in every form and aspect, craft and business wise.
I think the other thing that people should know about you as well is that you've not just, you have trained in the method for the last 5 years with us at Standby, but you've also took the initiative to come to me and ask me for help on the business side of the industry, on your career, and you've asked for me to help you with the strategy and and all that sort of stuff. So what have you got out of that, would you say?
Well, at the time I was just applying for jobs willy-nilly. I was on several casting websites, but they weren't really getting me any further. And one thing that I needed to do was to get on Spotlight, because I knew that even though there are projects that are cast through Spotlight, there are other casting websites. I knew that Spotlight would give me a lot more respect off industry professionals, and so I approached you or Louise to really think of how I could get onto Spotlight. Would it be to do paid projects? And obviously you said yes. So, making sure that Spotlight was a priority, and then getting a top quality show reel, getting headshots that really represented me rather than looking just like, actually selling myself. So getting a whole resume together to then approach agents with, and agents that I wanted to be with. So really having a real sense of direction rather than just going willy-nilly through, not knowing what to do.
And what do you think has been the biggest benefit of getting this career advice and this strategy in place for you?
Well, now I have a clear point written down and also in my head what I'm going to do next. I'm going from agent to agent, but not really having any success with them. I was having the odd audition, but again, they weren't really matching my ambitions. But going through your masterclass, I actually found that, right, I'm going to research an agency that I'm going to believe in. And so I wrote 5 to 10 agencies that I'd like as my targets, in a sense, and contacted them. And through that, I got an agent, like you said, in London that's a really proactive agent, and they've got really good contacts, and they're really ambitious. And that's due to going to the masterclass and actually knowing what my selling points are, knowing what I'm good at, and really working towards them strengths and really selling myself based on that. And that really got me the agent due to knowing what I wanted out of my career.
And what would you say to those actors who were having sort of like second thoughts about this actors career development masterclass? Because, it is money, and actors are generally skint.
Yeah.
And I do understand that, and they might be thinking, but I don't want to be parting with my money for just another workshop, and what's going to make this one different, and is it even going to benefit me? Like, what would you say to them?
Well, a lot of actors don't really have any idea of where to go next. They just, try and, get away through themselves. But there's no workshops like this that I know of at all that gives you a sense of what you are as an actor, what are your unique selling points, what makes you unique compared to everybody else, how to make sure that when you're sending your CV off and your headshots, how they're likely going to be able, how they're going to be able to see them in the best light, rather than just sending 100 emails off, sending 20 emails off that are really good and of really good standard. And I think that the workshops that you provide give people a real sense of direction and clear clarity what they need to do in their career.
Yeah, because for me, I'm really passionate about actors or aspiring actors not becoming another failed actor statistic, which there's so many. I mean, there's 20,000 actors churned out of drama schools a year, and that's not just like your Arders and your Landers, that's all the other acting schools, such as ones like mine.
And they never get business advice. They get taught the craft for 3 years, but they don't get much business advice at all. And obviously people that I know that have been to drama school, including yourself, can testify to that they're, you get taught in the craft for 3 years, but then you're dumped out into the big bad world of acting, and there's no set form of career advice or help to get you to the next stage. And I think rather than thinking, is it another workshop, just think, well, it's investing in my own career. Do I really want this that bad that I'm going to invest £47, is it?
Yeah.
Am I going to invest £47 and actually the rest of my life, or am I going to spend £47 on something that doesn't really mean much to me, but I'm going to throw my money away? You've got to actually prioritise what you want rather than just doing, and actually think, is it worth this much to me? Because if I were in that position, that I were having second thoughts, and I thought, well, is acting that much to me? Here it is. Right, I'm going to put that money into it, and I'm only going to gain out of it rather than lose.
Okay, thanks, Luke. It's been really good to talk to you, and I hope that other actors who have been in a similar position to yourself have found what you've talked about inspiring and have resonated with it.
Yeah, thank you a lot.